Now, I know what you're thinking, where was the shout out? But this was not a paid advertisement for the Cali Brick Clique, so I'm not going to tell you about SANDS' other channels like Gutter Chicken or Gutter Chicken Trimmings or SANS or the other various accounts. So there it is. This is not a paid advertisement for the Cali Brick Clique, but good luck finding that SANS channel.
Sounds like an incredibly boring and self-indulgent conversation topic.
Talk about yourself, man.
People want to hear about you.
I want to hear about the SANS behind the scenes SANS.
The SANS behind the camera. There is no difference.
Player in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to Cali Brick Clique. I am here with my buddies SHYtimeisMytime and Ninja from Ninja with the Brikx. And we've got a special guest here, which I'm really excited to introduce you to. His name is SANS. You might have heard of him. Hangs out with me every once in a while, usually with Ryan. But anyway, hello, SANS. Thank you for joining us. Excited to have you on for your second time on Cali Brick Clique.
Don't I have more appearances here than any other person?
You do.
Are we counting like sneaking in? Also?
You do.
In the reflection.
You couldn't find literally anyone else.
No. I think people want to know about you. They want to know the inner workings of that wacky little.
I feel like you said that last time, and it's one of your lowest viewed videos on your channel.
Probably.
Hey,
anyway.
Hey, we're not here for the views, right?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Crickets. I was like, what?
But if you would like to hear more podcasts, more content from the Cali Brick Clique, you can find us on YouTube. Some old episodes are on each of our channels: SHYtimeisMytime, Ninja with the Brikx, and the Plastic Architect. And you can even find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. And you even get the chance of maybe listening to us early every once in a while. Shy will upload it earlier on those podcast platforms before YouTube. So thank you for joining us today, all our friends, all our listeners, and of course, our lovely guest, SANS.
Wouldn't it be convenient to have all of the visual Cali Brick Cliques on one easy-to-find channel? Just throwing out ideas here.
You mean throw all the old episodes onto this?
He looked at our Cali Brick Clique YouTube for the first time today and has his
not the first time. Not the.
Are you subscribed?
Yes.
Cold-blooded. Oh, wait.
Bold-faced lie. If he says something and then looks hard left, hard right, that's a straight lie.
I'm looking at you.
Wait, to his left or to our left?
Dang, shit just got real.
I don't know.
If he looks in any direction, it's a lie.
Well, I do have some news to share. Big news.
Wait,
the Bricklink Designer Program, round 2, has gone into manufacturing and will be shipped August 2022. Did you get that email as well?
Yeah, I did. I freaked out and got pissed for a second because I got the castle, and I was like, oh, I got the second round of that, so I got to wait like half a year before I get the castle, and then I scrolled down, and I was like, oh, never mind. That came a lot sooner than I thought. I thought it was going to happen like in 2023.
Yeah,
so
me
now
too.
I have to account. Well, luckily I only bought one thing. You got, what, 5? 4, 6.
I thought
between the two of us, like 7.
Oh,
wait, round 2? I thought round 2.
No, all the rounds. I mean, total of the Bricklink Design.
I only got one thing. I don't know. You're getting the rest of them.
August is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot.
August is also Brick Fair Virginia, so you better start saving.
I just want to know who's paying for Brick Fair Virginia this year. Anyway, so
50-50.
I think it doesn't go back and forth.
No, I was first. You were not.
Okay, cool. So I guess we're not going. Anyway, we are going to Brick World Chicago
and Virginia.
That's for sure, right?
For sure.
I'm going to Chicago for sure. 100%.
Chicago for sure is happening. Okay, let's discuss a little bit further though. SANS, last time we saw you, you talked about a lot of your struggles in terms of having confidence and being stuck creatively or being inspired and not knowing whether or not to proceed with those inspirations and whatnot, and that you'll get like designer's block. Anyway, the majority of our conversation was mostly about being creative in the Lego space, in the Lego YouTube space, and doing, out of the box content, which you're still doing. You've still done that. Your most in the box content, for lack of a better phrase, was your most successful video. It was a reaction video. It was a low edited video. It was a video I got mad at you for doing. I thought it was outrageous, and I have never eaten my words so intensely. What I would like to know is, Have you thought about doing more videos like that? That was well received. It was poignant. It was well said. The community appreciated it, whether or not I did or didn't. So I'm curious what you've thought about that.
No.
Wow.
I'm kidding. No.
And thank you, everybody, for joining.
Fastest one yet. 5 minutes. No. The only times that this is weird. We talk all the time. This is a weird way to have an interview. The only times that has come up in conversation was you or Ryan has told me to do something stupid and simple, and I have said no. And the only thought I've given it is the thought of not doing it.
That's just the easiest thought to go to, I think.
Yeah, no. Deny it.
I feel like you would do commentary very well on anything Lego, whether it be YouTube, like YouTubers, like our videos, and or the company itself. I think you would smash that out of the park with easy. I mean, that's you're very opinionated. You have good points. You're very knowledgeable about everything Lego. So like, I feel like, especially amongst each other, like us, like as far as YouTubers, I feel like you know a lot. So a commentary type of video would do very well for you. I've seen other people do it, and it's very lackluster. I think I think that's why that video did so well. It's because there's not that many people that do it in the Lego YouTube world properly.
What? It's boring.
It's boring to produce, you mean, like from your perspective?
I mean, I haven't gone back and watched that video, and I don't necessarily go through and watch all of my older videos all the time, but I have at some point rewatched all of them multiple times, whether it's right after I upload it, which I will watch like 5 or 6 times after uploading, or even a few weeks after when I'm working on something else to see what I did to try to make some similar or some consistencies between different videos, which does not ever show. But that one I don't think I've gone back and watched it at all at any point, even after uploading it, really.
You don't want to relive that.
No, I just don't think it's good.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, okay, let's get back to this, and I want to dive deep in that and like understand what it is that you're trying to look for, and like what kind of success it is that you're trying to aim, and like, you know, what your strategy is and stuff, because people take different ones all the time, and it's really interesting, and I think we should, you know, view it from an analytical perspective. But beforehand, have you bought Lego Star Wars since making the proclamation that you're not going to?
Yes.
Yes. What have you bought? What have you bought?
What?
Claire just brought you here so we can call you out publicly.
Yeah.
I don't think it necessarily counts, but it was a flashlight.
It was a flashlight. It was a Yoda
not
flashlight.
A set. It's just a flashlight. It's a baby Yoda flashlight.
I say that's a pass.
And it's retired. It's retired.
I only got it because it is retired, and I saw it at a hardware store, and I got in a shopping mood because they had not only Dragon Ball Z cards, but they also had Shrek trading cards, and then they were giving out free Pokemon stuff and
hardware store.
Yeah, a hardware store, the coolest hardware store I've ever been to. And I grew up next to a hardware store that gave out free popcorn, and it surpassed that even. It was a real good. It had 2 aisles for toys. I spent like $80 on tchotchke bullcrap I did not need.
He also bought me a bunch of stuff. He was definitely in a good shop.
I was excited. I wanted more stuff, but I stopped. But yes, I'm glad now that the 12 people that watch this will now know that I have cheated. Thank you, Claire, for bringing that up. And
I know I said that for a good reason.
I'd like to say, though, that how many times have I tried to get you to buy the gunship?
You've tried to buy the gunship.
Yeah, I know, and you won't let me.
I know.
Dang.
Why?
That's dedication.
She technically can if she wanted to.
Of course I can. What do you mean technically? There's no technicality. What's this thing that stop me from buying a Lego set? Absolutely not. Get out of town.
You're trying to support SANDS.
The movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. He doesn't have to build it or look at it or touch it or do anything.
Yeah.
La revolution.
Okay.
Well, okay.
It is.
No, in fairness, you wouldn't build it or look at it or touch it because you just buy sets and put them under a desk. But
yeah, exactly.
Ouch. Well, to be fair, I mean, it takes time to build stuff.
It takes
not that much time. She built the first 2 bags of the Daily Bugle 3 months ago.
It's like
are you allowed to help
out
with those builds or no?
I'm not allowed to build anything, even if I buy it.
It's not true. It's not
allowed
true
to build the stuff I buy because we don't have enough space. We have enough space to start the Daily Bugle, but we don't have enough space to build anything else.
It's not true. That's
So
not
you're only on
true.
level. You have
You
2
just
levels
lost
still.
the stuff I built.
I did. No, I packed up the stuff you built. I packed up some of the stuff I built too. I packed up all our Star Wars stuff because it was the way that it was displayed on the shelf wasn't aesthetically pleasing, and we
I
couldn't
thought it
even
was very pleasing.
no, because it was like on a high shelf and they were like low on the shelf, so you couldn't see them. It was like the X-wing and stuff like that.
But I'm taller than you.
The only one that looked halfway decent was
Sheesh.
the what's the one I got you for for your birthday? What was
Razor
it?
Crest.
The Razor Crest.
And
That
Baby
one.
Yoda.
Yeah, you could see both of those. But anyway,
And the Probe Droid.
we will be putting up a ton of Star
The
Wars stuff in
exposed
here.
episode.
So
Why don't you guys
Yeah,
start
I'm not-
building the Falcon?
when we get the shelf installed.
Also,
You start
a
building-
display case would probably be necessary.
Andy, yeah.
A
I
what?
display it? Are you gonna do it in fully
We
enclosed
have-
case?
We have a stand. We don't have a case.
I don't know, just something to keep it from getting gross.
Dusty? I
Yeah.
just bought a vacuum for my Lego
Uh-oh.
from Amazon.
Oh yeah, you gotta. Are you
Little
gonna tell us
vacuum.
how that goes? Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta tell us how that goes. Anyway,
Live.
let's get back to
Oh,
the meat of
kinda
this
live.
thing. Stans, what are you working on now? What are the goals? What is the design direction? Oh my god. Okay.
Damn, space age.
That looks like the Toy
That
Story
looks-
ride in Disneyland.
No, that looks like something you should not be showing on a Lego related stream.
Where's your
Lightsaber.
For
mind
all of
at,
our
man?
audio listeners, he actually found a mail application.
Oh.
Okay. Are you
You
trying?
gotta send me that link. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you trying to transition the conversation away from you and towards the new Lego Buildable Tiger?
No,
Is it Buildable Tiger?
I was just making a comparison from his quote vacuum cleaner to a device known for helping milk a man.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
I mean, too. Okay, never mind.
Not with that attachment. That's a different kind of. That's an attachment for a different part of the man.
It's a good thing Spotify has video now.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Just wanted to,
Can we get a
I'll throw it
visual
up there.
guy?
throw that out there real quick. Shout out to the
Test run.
Spotify watchers.
All right, so Tiger, what?
That's all. Was that real? Is that true? Or was
yeah,
that
there's a
trying
new Buildable Tiger that has like an anatomically correct rectum, and
Wow. Is it a new mold?
No,
It's a
No, it's like
flower.
the pink flower. It's the pink flower.
it has like the anus and the rectum to it.
Hey,
These are
kids
not
gotta learn.
Bad
Kids
words, you guys. This is your anatomy.
It's
It's like,
Exactly.
let's take it easy.
I mean,
It's biology, yeah.
I have nothing against it.
Something
It's
like that.
fairly accurate. Every time you see a cat,
I can't believe
something
Lego
to see.
Shit.
with a stick so far up their ass is making a Lego anus on a tiger. Oh, it's the greatest thing they've ever produced.
That's some great part usage. Look at that.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Not to mention that they also made a short bus with Billy Madison in it.
Did they really?
Yeah.
What
The Lego
the
school
hell?
set has two named characters. One's name is Billy, and the second one's name is Madison.
This is
In the same
wonderful.
set that comes with a Lego short bus. And this isn't just a shortened bus. This is a legitimate short bus because it has a handicap ramp in the back.
So,
Wow.
with that being said, are you going to get that set now? Because
Oh,
of that?
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
think I'm going to get that
that's-
set now because
Sealed.
of that.
Oh, that's the only reason I'm
Yeah,
getting
I
it.
am not opening it. It's definitely going to be something to hold just to laugh at because it's going to be a meme.
If it doesn't come
Yeah,
out
for
like
sure,
the
for
Osprey, because it might, they might cancel it.
Yeah.
Claire, stop looking so disappointed. You know you enjoy the Lego Tiger.
Oh, I love the Lego Tiger. I think talking about human anatomy should not be so like socially faux pas. I think
It's not
important.
human anatomy. It's tigress anatomy.
Yeah, well, okay, you're right.
Tigress?
Tigress.
Tigress?
I digress.
I know. Do you like how he's avoiding like me talking about like
I'm
I
not
asked
avoiding anything. I'm just.
I asked-
This is what is called natural conversation, not a
Mhm.
forced topic.
Dang.
Ooh.
Cold
just like-
blooded. I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of those today.
Shy's having such a good time.
I'm
I'm
also
not referring to-
delirious because of lack of sleep.
I know.
This is a great
I
one.
wasn't referring to Claire, Shy.
He's
Sorry.
loving it. It's okay. We're
Go ahead,
fine.
keep going. What?
Go ahead, Claire.
Go ahead about what?
With the conversation that was not at hand.
This
Well,
is
let me
extreme.
repeat since you're incapable of remembering what I asked, which
No,
is
this is for people that have low attention span, so you can reiterate
Oh, got
where
it,
we were
got
going
it.
so they would remember, because we really did get off track with Lego anus parts and Billy Madison.
so unlike your viewers, the Cali Brick Clique viewers are quite lovely. They pay attention, they
All 8 of them?
comment. You know what? There's a lot of them, and all 8 of them, whether there's few, there's quality, and we appreciate them, and we shout them out. Thank you, Ninja, for weekly.
By the way, no shout outs on this one. I don't want my appearance to be given any credit to.
Luckily, your
I'm forced to do that.
My name doesn't draw me additional views.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Help me.
No, let's go back. What I keep trying.
All right, Tiger Anus. All right, what?
No.
Before that one.
Before that one, what is the design direction of the SANDS channel? Where is this going? What are we doing? What are we looking for?
Is SANDS plural?
I'm not super sure what you're asking with the design philosophy.
Okay.
This isn't me joking. I actually do not understand what you're asking.
When you like to look at your last videos, like your previous videos, like you talked about, you were like, I look back at them, but the only one I haven't looked at is the one that was the most successful. So obviously you're not like, okay, which ones are bringing me the most traffic and the most monetary gain? That's obviously not your intention. So what is your intention with your channel?
Hard question.
Shut up,
Heavy hitters, yeah.
Can we talk about tiger buttholes?
Like, why do you spend your free time doing a Lego YouTube channel? Because all three of us here can answer that. To the degree that we spend time on it, we can answer why we do it and like what our goals are and what our expectations are. We can answer those things. And I think it's important for people to the things that they do and when they wake up in the morning and how they spend it, that there's intention and reason for doing it. Otherwise, you find yourself floating and feeling like you're not participating in your own life. So,
ooh, that one was deep. That one was deep, Claire.
And I know,
I know
you have,
but in life.
But I know that you have thoughts on this, and I know that they're good, and I'm trying to pull them out of you because I think they are very, very articulate.
So the first live stream I ever joined, I was asked the same or similar question, and I answered the same thing that I still think is that I am happy making videos. It's something I find a great amount of pleasure in doing, not from just making it, because there is a challenge to figuring out making everything fit together in some coherent way, which is not always, I don't always succeed in doing so, but it is fun and it is a challenge that is stimulating more so than a lot of other things are. And I find a lot of pleasure in it more so than I would with something straightforward or more straightforward task. And I told the same people that asked me then that I wouldn't necessarily, I don't need, or I would want it, but I don't need, and I wouldn't be unhappy if I didn't receive some monumental channel size and millions of views for each video. I'd be happy just doing this and having enough to get by with whatever the bare minimum is, even if that meant having to have a second part-time job to support myself. Thank you, Claire, for not making or requiring myself to do that. I would be fine doing whatever crappy side thing is, because I know I'm happy doing or making videos. What answer are you looking for here?
What answer is she looking for?
No, what answer?
I heard an answer.
I mean, I gave an answer that was kind of rambly. What was the question? Why do I make videos? Oh, I like it.
Can you elaborate why you like? No, I'm just kidding.
More?
No. Yeah, I mean, we'll always take more, but
no, that like making people laugh.
Yeah, so
nice.
Which makes sense. So what's the next thing? Like, what are we to expect from SANDS and your production house?
I would like to build a stage, but unfortunately at this time I don't think there's enough square footage to do so.
I cannot tell you. No more we're not having a stage. There's no room for a stage.
This has been discussed before.
Yes. Yes. My God. No stage.
So I've been around a few times when you were kind of brainstorming ideas for videos, and a lot of it doesn't really come to fruition. But I always thought to myself, like, what in your mind gets it to YouTube? Like your idea. Like, what does it take to actually make one of your videos to be on here?
Yeah.
Because you have a lot that's not on here and never made it on here.
Follow through mostly. And not necessarily from a lack of well, I guess it would be tied to ambition, but getting the initial startup and actually working on something and not necessarily finishing it, because if it's started, there's more like for everyone, it's likely that it's more likely to be finished if you actually, start working on it. That usually is a pretty big hurdle, is the
Starting point.
the starting. Yeah, not necessarily, more so turning the camera on actually is a big hurdle. Like I adore like looking up every little minute piece of information about whatever I'm interested in or talking about or looking into, even though it has nothing, like there's no relevant context that's needed. No one will ever ask about that. It won't be a part of any video or conversation probably ever. I just like knowing things, and that's enjoyable, or like putting it together for how it will end up being recorded, or listening to a song and then having that saved set to the side for however long before it's actually used. Just that's fun, like the actual build up process. But there are other things that are more fun in the moment that keep me from doing things, just like mindlessly scrolling through phones or whatever it is.
So would you say you're easily distracted to finish something,
Oh, wow.
or is it that you need A, B, C, D, E, and F to actually make this video, as opposed
No,
to just
easily
having A, B,
distracted.
and C?
Easily
Okay.
distracted.
So you don't need, because sometimes I do go into a video where I'm like, I don't have D and E yet, but let me at least get it started, and hopefully D and E will pop up, and if not, I have to redo it. But like, I feel like sometimes with you, like you need to have every piece of the puzzle before you before you even start filming.
No, that's not really. Like if there's not something there, I'll either I've done that where I think last time I was on, or you guys asked me to join, I said that I'll record videos in not the start from finish order. I'll just do it wherever and then put it together.
Yeah, we talked about your process last time. Yeah, which was really interesting to hear that. And definitely, has anything changed? Are you still doing the same process?
Yeah.
The last video I did, this one I just recorded everything at once, and I'm just trying to use that without recording any additional things or doing any more retakes.
So this is a challenge right now that you're kind of putting on yourself?
I mean, I've done it before, but the videos usually are lesser for it, but at the same time they're better in aspects, mostly for it's done and there's not a lot of back and forth on it, and all that has to be done is actually sitting down and chopping it up and putting it out. Which has its own faults as well, because I'm sure everyone, there's ideas that come to you or someone says that you should add, and then or whatever that would make it significantly better, but not timely.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
That's fair.
Yeah, because unfortunately with YouTube and this space that we're in, you're constantly fighting that, right? You're constantly fighting like relevancy, and it always has to be timely. Like there's no like kind of way around it. Like the reason the success that you had on your last video was the timeliness of it, the relevance,
Perfect.
And even like you got the initial clicks not because the video quality was good, but because of the relevance, and it was someone saying what somebody wanted to hear. You know what I mean? You were just echoing the feelings that people already had about it. So I think it was kind of like its own little echo chamber that people wanted to be in for the moment.
But that end was also very genuine. What you were saying.
But before it was even like before someone even clicked on it, right?
Oh,
before
yes.
Yeah.
But that also kept the person there. So I'm assuming your retention rate was really good. So YouTube also promoted it. To get to that point, you had clicks for it. It was relevant. You had clicks from the thumbnail and the title, and then you had people staying to listen to what you had to say, which is everything you would need for YouTube to recommend a video.
I mean, half the comments were about the princess chair I was sitting in, but
my mom got that from the Philippines.
Shout out to Claire's mom.
Yeah.
Backstory on the chair right there. If they want that info, they got to come here to get that. Too bad we only got 8 watchers though.
Yeah.
So
maybe 9 now.
Maybe next time. Oh, hey, that's right.
So with that being said, do you now look for like content ideas due to relevancy?
Yes. So the video is supposed to come out when video never had any iota of relevancy that I noticed while trying to find videos about it, because there were all of 8 videos similar to your subscriber or your viewer count about the video that wasn't done by an 8-year-old and by someone that actually had an iota of competence. And even those were super great. Sorry, Justin. No, I'm not. So yes, like I'm trying because Claire's wanting me to talk about it, but the Titanic video I'm doing, I'm trying to do now, because not only because it's interesting to me, but because it is a tiny bit relevant now, but it would have been relevant a month ago. So it doesn't really matter. And it would probably benefit me more to do other ideas that I have that would be more entertaining, and it doesn't matter when they go out.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from, and then, like I can see where there are like hiccups and like hurdles you're gonna have to jump over. If you're also because you have like other things going on in your life too. It's not like you're just stuck here. So like it does take time to edit. It does take time to have an idea, put it on paper, and actually do it. So unless you do a straight up commentary, which is I recommended earlier, but it wouldn't be. I don't know if you would like doing that though.
It's less artistic, I think.
Why can't you do both? I'm just curious. Like, why?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. I love your take on videos. I think what it makes you unique and what it makes you SANS. Like it's very obvious. Like when I see a SANS, a well done SANS video, it's very entertaining. I watch from front to back, and like I get something out of it. But then your commentary, I feel like you can do just the same thing, less work, less effort, and like you can condense anything you have to say in like 3 minutes to keep like people listening, because people listen to you talk. So I don't like it's not going to be hard to be able to keep people listening from not listening to you. So like I feel like if there's something relevant that you know that you can benefit from just by saying something, it could help you. Because otherwise you wouldn't have anything out there to begin with. And then you have to think of something completely spicy to be able to like make that thing relevant again. So let's say that your idea is on a Titanic. You could have just thrown it out there. People would have listened.
Like right when it came out. Yeah. Like I think remember once you had a really good idea for me, because I was like, I want an idea for like really quick content that isn't like a news video, but would be, and is still like relevant to like the kind of commentary that I provide from my perspective, you know, which is like as an architect. And you were like, well, why don't you take like news videos and take the photos of like the new things that are coming to life or whatever, you know, that people are getting excited about, and then do architecture commentary. It's not like you have to have the set in hand to be able to do that. And I thought that was a really, really good idea, and maybe something I'll do one day. But I think it's almost like you need that equivalent for you as well. It's also so that you stay, it's just something to keep you accountable. Like, for example, for all of us, this podcast, one of the best things that it does for us is keep us accountable, because it's like once a week, we like get together, we check in, and whether or not, you know, it's like a content that we're producing for our own channel, it's at least some content that we're doing, and it makes us feel a little bit good and kind of checks a thing off, you know, checks a box off a list, which is there's product, like, that feeling of productivity is there when we do it.
Yes,
it's the most consistent thing I've ever done.
Well, aren't you a Lego YouTube wife?
I mean, yeah,
Lego YouTube wife.
That's not so consistent either, Sam.
No, but it's true. This does keep us grounded into what we're doing, keeps us focused on our channels and on each other. Like I feel like I said, like I feel like you would do really well just commenting on people.
You want him to comment on actual people.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the videos I've been watching is like all the downfalls of giant YouTubers. And just people commenting on the Ace family and their whole debacle. So it's just very like, but there's not that many of those here, and for the few that were, really harped on negativity, which did get annoying. But then like if you could like find a balance of like just humor, there's not one YouTuber that brings everybody together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know if that's even possible, right?
Yeah, I don't think that is. Although if there were to be one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like a commenter could do that because you have a viewpoint on everything. So like a lot of us have our own niches and we have our own like places within the space, but there's the fluidity between each other is not common. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I feel like you have the ability to reach out. Like your voice is, it's pretty well known.
You're so loud. You are so loud. My ears are always ringing.
I don't think that's exactly what I meant, Claire, but thank you.
No, but you're loud.
Like I said, the exposed episode.
You have the knowledge point behind the product, the history behind it, and then you know a lot of people, and you're very opinionated. So like, I feel like it would be pretty funny. So
and you do have all that random knowledge. You might as well put it to good use.
Yeah, and I don't think most people don't know that you have that. I've told you this before. It's like, and it's interesting the knowledge that you have
to an extent.
To Lego fans, to us who are Lego dorks, we like that crap.
Extreme.
Not to come up with excuses because I do not need any more. the videos that you're talking about where people are talking about other YouTubers in their fall of whatever Titans that you're referring to. I'm not sure which channel you're talking about, but I am familiar with the videos. There are more characters to actually talk about, and the space that they're in, which is just YouTube space, not Lego YouTube, is so vast that it doesn't matter if you run your mouth about someone. It's I don't know if I've said it here specifically, but the analogy that I am very fond of is that Lego YouTube specifically is a shallow little warm pool where all of the little baby fish are born from, and they get to hop around in peace and harmony. There aren't any big predators. But the second you hop over that little water retaining barrier, you are now in the world of YouTube, which is a fierce ocean that is cold and unforgiving. But also it's huge. Here in our little baby shallow swimming pool meant for kindergartners, you can't say anything about anyone without someone else knowing about it, hearing about it, sharing it, and then you just isolated yourself from an entire group of people. If I say one wrong thing about Brikx, if I say a negative thing about him, that just axed Rich Boy J and David Hall from ever really wanting to communicate with me. And if that acts them, it acts their 5 closest people that they interact with, and then it acts their 3 closest, and then it acts their mothers. And then you just cut out every connection that you have there. So while it would be fun to talk about someone's mistake or go into it, because even if I'm not familiar, I am, or because I am opinionated, which other people would refer to as a big bitch, it's a quick way to piss off a lot of people really fast.
I didn't have to piss off anybody.
It would be fun, but
it would be fun though.
It would be fun. It would be very fun. It just, I don't know if the trade-off is worth having half of the people that you could ever interact with, which while there are a lot of people online, there aren't that many at the same time.
Okay, that's fair. That is true.
Like even me interacting with Ryan on a non-aggressive level, it has made other people dislike me just because I'm known to associate with him.
It's because he's the worst.
He is the worst. I'm not disagreeing, but it does.
That shouldn't make you. It
shouldn't be, but that's people.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying that shouldn't make someone not like you, but yeah, like you said, that's just people.
No, I was just trying to throw an idea out there that's quick.
It's a good idea, and it's a good idea.
I've really thought about it before several times, and when I made the video about Holly, that was kind of it. But I also wanted to be.
No, you made that at production. So.
I wanted to tread very carefully with how I approached everything, and I did. But it also was less vitriol, and
it was a lot of fun.
But now Holly doesn't hate me, so it's the trade-off.
I'm sure you can be able to find a way to do that continually going forward.
Not everybody's as good of a sport as Holly in that example.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you do it more with people that you know would not care and will fully support it,
or you would have them be involved.
Yeah, like if they're involved in it.
There aren't that many characters, like I started saying earlier. There aren't that many big personalities to go out of the way and.
But it takes you a while to do a video, though. So
that's my fault, though. That's not any.
I mean, you could go with the unpopular decision to just do you.
How long did you get all the footage for your dances for the video?
How long
did that take you
to get those?
From everybody. I'm talking about like the dancing portion.
3 days, like no more than a week.
So to ask a fellow YouTuber to film you something can take you, really only takes like a day. If you were to collab with somebody in regards to you making a video of them, and if you already tell them what you're doing, and I won't see them having a problem. Yeah.
But we've talked about, I've brought this up before. The problem is then you're dependent on other people for your own content. Like when during your spat of playing Minecraft and then trying to create content from it, you were dependent on other people to play Minecraft with to have good content. You had to really think outside the box to have content that was just you on your own playing it, which is not a bad thing to be forced to do that. But then you just don't want to be dependent on other people for your own particular success. And that's I think the hard part.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. But to diversify his content, just to have things out there, that way see what sticks as opposed to
I think my content's pretty diverse.
No, it is, but then it's sparse.
So as somebody
again, that's more so my fault more than like actual production time. And I don't want to say production time, but I guess that's the appropriate word choice. Sorry, Clay.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say, as somebody who like knows you really well, you know, you are very much like an artist type. Like you are 100% like driven by your inspiration, and that's like how your brain operates. And like if you're inspired the right way at the right time, you can get things done. And but the thing is finding that inspiration and being able to channel it and being able to focus your attention on it. I think that's where you're having issues, right? Is like you're not able to channel that for long enough of a time before you're distracted by like the next great idea.
Or the next YouTube video.
Interesting.
To watch.
Yeah,
because you're constantly like intaking stuff. That's like what you like to do. Yeah.
I don't know, I've heard you talk, like you analyze a lot of what succeeds in YouTube in general. Like I'm not talking about Lego. I mean, in general. Have you used any of that to your advantage?
Yeah, I have. I don't know if any of some of it's been beneficial. And not just YouTube, but like TV shows and movies as well that I've watched for ideas of whatever. But I don't know, to say it's worked in my advantage would not necessarily be fair, because I don't output enough, and I don't have enough analytics to show that any of it's really been super beneficial.
So do you think only posting a few videos at a time is better for you as opposed to throwing triple the amount?
Yeah, because like there are people that have gotten success on YouTube with very little content, right? It's just like doing the right thing at the right time. Mm-hmm. And like even if they upload one video a month, but like who in the Lego space has done that?
I think another thing.
Playful?
Experimental Brick channel.
What?
Experimental Brick channel. Or the ASMR like.
Yeah, Playful did it.
Well. I wouldn't classify them as a Lego channel. No,
they're not. They're like an art design. Yeah.
I think another thing though that counts into that is like timeless content, like stuff that has replay value as opposed to reviews and stuff like that, which they do have replay value, but
I feel like SANS' content's pretty evergreen. Like going through them. Going through them right now, his most successful videos are pretty timeless. So you do have that working for you. Like they do grow over time. Mm-hmm. So
can we pause for a second? You might have to edit this out. Claire, I disagree. I don't think I am the quote artist type. Besides that sounding pompous and annoying and stupid, and
especially after we saw.
Yeah, no. Well, I didn't need that as validation to know that it was bad.
Did you guys go to the show today?
Yeah, we did the Art of the Brick thing. Yeah.
Did you not like it? Oh yeah.
It's just not our vibe.
What do you mean it's not your vibe?
Because once you see good builds,
yeah,
you don't want to see shitty builds.
I think after going to
interesting.
Yeah, I just think
there's also not impressive seeing someone be handed a shit ton of bricks and then building something very straightforward with it.
That's kind of, I haven't seen it, but I've seen like the ads for it, and I think there's other exhibits that are better. That's kind of
no, definitely. Like
the thing at the end was really cool. Actually, that was different. I've never seen anything like it. Okay. It was basically like incorporating like real photography with Lego, and so there'd be like I thought that was really unique and different, and has never been done before. And that should have been. It was like at the end, and the way that the art exhibit was curated, or the exhibit was the layout and the design was really piss poor. It used to be the Museum of Ice Cream, and then what they did is they tried to force this Lego exhibit on top of it, and so there were remnants that were left from before. It looks like it was the most low budget thing I've ever seen. And then the docents that were there, the people that were standing around and guiding you through this way or that way, they weren't doing any kind of work by keeping parents that don't know how to mind their children at bay. So there were kids that were running around and throwing themselves around and behaving, and the parents were behaving like they took their kids to the playground. And then the wayfinding and the signage and all of the literature that was on the walls was directed to young children, the way that it was written. And so it's they're clearly confused with who they're audiences. Like no child is going to read that content. That content should be directed at the parent. The parent is going to be enjoying it for the art's sake. The child is going to be enjoying it because it's Lego, but it's supposed to be art. And the guy's talking about like art for art's sake, and he's talking about art is necessary. Art is a requirement. He was a
self-absorbed dickhead.
Yeah, but it was.
He's also a lawyer, so it makes sense.
No. He quit his multi-million-dollar contract lawyer work in big city New York to go play with Lego on the floor.
Who says
that's how he was wording it?
It was so juvenile. It was so rudimentary. It was not an art exhibit. It was not the value. It's like if you want an art exhibit, go to the MoMA. Go to the Palace of Fine Arts. Go to an actual.
Did you film any of it?
I did. I actually think this is like an Instagram photo opportunity, or for suckers like my dad who doesn't know shit from Shinola when it comes to Lego. And then, but on top of it all, but my dad's also not a museum goer. So he's like he's just like a walkthrough. Like we went to the Van Gogh Museum when I was like 15 and he's like, I'm done in like 20 minutes. I was like, I need like 3 hours here. And I'm probably sounding elitist talking to it, but it was just
I disagree. The builds that Lego puts out are more just better.
Go to the Lego store at Disney Springs and you'll see better stuff.
Let's X out designer sets from Lego. Let's look at master builders.
I'm talking about the Lego
store.
Constructs or like Legoland does.
Much cooler. And then I know that there's the one Lego artist that uses only black brick. That is like that's also like that's like way more interesting as well. He
uses more than just brick. He uses actual other elements aside from the 2x4.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Brick. Yeah, just brick.
Yeah,
it's so dull. But he does do an interesting thing. But the way that it was like displayed, it was like in the same area as like the main entrance and like the gift shop area, and it was like probably the most interesting thing that he did, and was the most out of the box thing. Was basically like, let's say like this. It's like this really weird, super surreal style photo, like the way that it's lit though. It's like a Hopper painting like brought to life in like a really weird way.
Yeah.
But then but they'll take like the bucket that like the janitor is doing and like everything is like actual real, but the bucket is made of Lego, and then it'll show the Lego bucket as a sculpture next to it.
Yeah.
Or it'll have like a woman, caught in a windstorm in this beautiful red dress in front of a movie theater, and then the red dress is the Lego. That's built out. It's a Lego sculpture. Everything else is like photo, and it's obviously this like amalgamation of like Photoshop and like actual photography and sculpture, and it's like it's multi-layered and like the design process is really interesting, but like that wasn't showcased in any way whatsoever. It's really unfortunate. Yeah,
I'm trying to envision like your experience with mine, because it's I didn't know that LA is simultaneously showing theirs with San Francisco.
Oh, interesting.
So in my mind, I thought it was like LA first,
traveling. Yeah,
then San Francisco, then New York, blah 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 blah. So what made me wonder was, are there two of everything that he's made in two separate? Like, is it the same piece twice built in two different locations? Or because
did he have a giant T-Rex?
Well, I didn't go this year.
Oh,
like they changed it up, so I don't know.
I don't know. It's. I'm not obviously taking fun at poking and shitting on him, which I don't think he's not talented. I think it's more so, and it's going to be repeated in Claire's vlog, but he was at the right place at the right time in terms of marketing what he had. Because like I have a Lego book from 1999 that has his like man tearing open his chest.
Yeah,
I don't even remember what color it is, but I've been seeing that since I was like 5. I've been seeing that image, and without a doubt, it's an impressive build.
Yeah.
But then you look at, just scroll through Instagram daily, and then you see builds that are so photorealistic or just so out of the box with parts usage, where it might just be made with 100 parts, but they're doing a 100 parts challenge, and everybody's coming up with these ideas that are so like you have to stop and actually break down what you're looking at and what they use to do it, and you have to stop and consider, wow, that's creative, when this guy is just doing Lego.
No, I agree. I feel like it's art for people who are not Lego fans.
But it's also like maybe he's the first of that kind, and he's the one who inspired these people that are doing like bigger and better things. You know what I mean? It's like,
but also at the same time, he's not the only one.
Like Lego
I
conventions.
think Shy and Ninja also know some of the same people I'd be referring to that have been building mocks and like were showing it off at conventions or stuff from the 90s when this guy was first kicking in terms of Lego, that they just, I mean, they never had the ambition or whatever, the desire necessarily
or the
to go
Probably
show
even
off.
thought of it. Yeah.
Or
They just like, they go on live streams and show, here's my moon base made out of only old dark bluish gray bricks. And I have the most dark bluish gray bricks in the world. And it's this enormous moon base the size of like 4 basements.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
it's absurd how big it is. And he's like, I've been working on it since 1995. And
right. And you
So
know,
I feel-
another thing
I
that's
it shows.
interesting
No,
is
I get
like
it.
is mock builders, they'll take their mock to a show and then they don't want to take it again. Whereas this guy, you know,
Exactly.
same
It's
thing.
repetitive.
Well, he's
like,
he's figured out how to profit. It's like
hey, yeah,
they,
props.
they say that with social media too. It's like you want to you make the content and use it like, you know, multiple times. Like you make something, you use it for Instagram, TikTok, you know what I mean? Like like YouTube, you go back and forth with it.
Especially
But
now, definitely.
like this though, we have to continuously, going back to SANDS, like think about what's trending and what's like what it takes for us to stay relevant, right? I feel like eventually his work, Nathan Soea, although it's dope and it is what it is, if he continues to stay in that bubble of what he thinks is art for Lego, it's not going to be relevant to the rest of the community because there's so many great builders out there going above and beyond. Like the end, I know exactly the portion of the exhibit that you're referring to. That's thinking outside the box. That's him moving forward.
That's cool. He is.
Evolving.
He's trying. He's evolving.
But that's 2 years ago.
Interesting. That was 2 years ago.
That hasn't changed. Because that exact thing in an image, if you look for like one of my earlier vlogs of me going there, if you looked at if whatever you saw today was exactly in that video 2 years ago, there's a problem.
I disagree with you thinking he's going to run out. He is making money hand over fist by showing his builds that he's had for 20 plus years or doing similar designs. He also, because before we went there a few weeks ago, I looked him up just to know more about the whole thing. And I saw his designs of like what would be 5,000 bricks, which would be, I don't know, let's just say rough estimate of 10 grand of bricks. Let's just say that he's charging like 90 grand for the sculptures and they're selling for whatever builds he's done.
Yeah. He also gets like cheaper than lug bulk prices. Like,
he gets his stuff for free. He's a certified professional. They get their benefits are absurd. He's promoted by Lego. He's promoted by not only Lego but Facebook, Instagram. Like his builds. Claire's dad, which as she said knows nothing about Lego, has seen this guy's stuff on Facebook before. My parents know about the guy because his stuff is being shown all over all the time. No one on Instagram, like Claire named probably 5 different people on Instagram that did better mosaics than he had there. And then they're never going to be shown to the mass audience though. It's just 1 in a million that sometimes their post is shared to the Facebook moms.
Facebook moms!
No, but you know, I get that. I get that. It's like I said, it's like it's more so from people who are not really into the hobby.
But then you look at like Legoland employees that are making minimum wage doing models that are so much better.
I think it's like technique wise.
It's the same technique. It's the same technique that the
Legoland designers are just better at it, or like the people that do the models that go to different stores or whatever just have like it's more refined.
I don't know. I feel like I need to see this show now.
You do. I think you like it.
Yeah,
I think
he has good stuff. Like his work. No,
we're happy we went. Don't get me wrong. Like we're happy we went. It was fun. It was fun to go with my dad. We went.
I don't know. I wouldn't have been upset not going. I was kind of disappointed.
No. But you wouldn't have known. Like now we know. Now we don't need to go again. You know what I mean? It's done.
I've never gone again before. I went once. That was it. I've never gone again.
There's no reason to go again.
Pretty much. There's no reason. Unless he does something new that's like mind blowing, that is like everywhere, which I've yet to see. Like anyone that's ever posted a video on any of his exhibits is literally the same thing.
Every major city in the United States has some sort of Lego convention, even if it's not a big one. Dayton had a convention that like it wasn't even a real convention. They had like the same builds going to different places by a few different people that made them. That was a more impressive showing of what there is in Dayton, Ohio than the traveling exhibits that goes around the world. And it's the same builders, like the same 5 dudes that have done, like it's the same mocks, which weren't even that impressive compared to like Brick Fair, Virginia, or any of the other big shows. I would recommend for someone to rather go to any of those conventions in any of their big cities that are nearby, because it's not only cheaper, there's stuff you can actually purchase at the end of it, and you don't have to go 5 blocks away or even further to go to a Lego store to get something because you're feeling inspired. You can get something there. Plus the builds there and the quality and the varying differences of what someone's doing between great ball contraptions, actual sculptures, or just anything. It's just without a doubt a far better experience with or without the nature of knowing what's there, what it is, or even the people there.
Yeah, it's less commercialized, would you say?
It wasn't even the fact that it was commercialized. It just sucked.
It's more
like you both, or everyone here has been to a convention at one point, right? A Lego convention or even Legoland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Better experience.
Yeah.
Either one of those.
Actually, speaking of Legoland, because you guys went fairly recently, do they still have Star Wars Miniland there? Oh, they really? Oh, dang.
No, they had to take that out. I think they had to take it out because of Disney, right? Or was there ever Star Wars Miniland in the LA location?
Yeah, San Diego. Okay.
Yeah, San Diego. Yeah, I wasn't there.
California. When you guys went, it was gone, right? By then, I remember I was going. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, all the pieces were faded anyways, so it
was still fresh though.
It was all like yellow for like both gray and white pieces.
Damage, yeah,
it's all sun damage and it's horrid. It looked like it hasn't been touched in forever.
Hey, it was still fresh though. A thug tear rolling down my cheek, right?
A thug tear.
So now talking about Nathan Sawaya and how we feel like he's relevant or not.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like this transition. Yeah. It's getting my thumbs up.
Dang, and
now you put added pressure to what I was going to say.
Actually,
you got it. I'm seeing it.
I don't know if
one person isn't enough to do a whole branching sub-theme of videos.
In a way.
I guess we missed our shot to have him on the show, huh?
Also, the whole time just talking about him felt hesitant to say any of that because I don't want to necessarily ruin whatever encounter I might have with him in the future.
Oh, okay.
What?
I'm sorry. Who are you?
I'm not saying I'm going to meet him or I'm important enough to ever come across him, or not important enough because he's not that big of a deal. But okay, Claire, you spent all of 5 seconds on YouTube, and then within 2 months, you interacted with like all of the biggest names that there are. In the last 6 months, you have like on speed dial, Jane Brikx, M&R Productions, Beyond the Brick. Shut up.
She speed ran.
Remember, we are in the kiddie pool, the little tropical breeding ground, not in the vast, scary ocean.
You know, that analogy is still haunting my thoughts.
It works on a lot of levels.
Yeah. It's a little kiddie pool floating in the middle of the ocean. It's like
it does help that most of the people that are on YouTube with Lego are literal babies.
All right.
Well, I mean, it's a kid's toy.
Not literally.
Not according to our analytics, but it's fine.
Those analytics are lying. Do not believe that for a second.
Adults play with these toys as well.
No, like the Spotify ones. I can't vouch for this one, but the Spotify ones is not 20 to 26 or whatever it is, or 18.
I'm not referring to Spotify. I'm just referring to YouTube. And you know, Shy, I would have listened to your argument that the military crowd is older than the average crowd until I went to Brick Fair, Virginia. The military crowd is just as young as the rest of them.
There's so many kids that love military.
Oh my God. So many children
aren't military.
We're talking about Panzers and M18s, and it's like, why do you know all of this? Stop playing Call of Duty.
It's kind of crazy. Exactly. And it's like, their parents like aren't vets or anything. They just like know so much about this stuff.
No, I agree.
It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's just a little shocking. You're like, what?
Yeah, like, Ryan, shut up about your audience. They're all 14 at the oldest.
Everyone put your name down. I mean, your age in the comments.
Don't lie. Honor system.
Honest.
So then, going to what I was gonna say. So how do you feel like you need to? How do you feel like what you need to do to stay relevant?
Mm-hmm.
You're assuming I have relevancy to begin with this question.
I mean, all your videos that you've posted that have been successful were all relevant to something,
Mhm.
whether it be to Holly,
okay,
whether it be to video.
I will give you two potentially successful-ish videos. That's it.
What's your definition of successful?
Breaking at least the amount of subscribers I have is like a win. Successful. There's like one video, and that was a fluke. And again, right place, right time, and it's the outlier.
So you're basing your success based on views.
In terms of hard, like stone cold, factual success, yes.
You're more satisfied with your gunship video than you are with the video.
No.
Why?
No, I said in terms of like tangible evidence.
I know, but it's I'm looking more so like in your heart. Like, what do you find successful in your videos?
Or more fulfilling?
You
fulfilling.
need to be more fulfilling.
Yeah, fulfilling.
Ones that I spend more time on that, while I'm not necessarily happy with the final product every time, I'm more so happy, and there are aspects of things that I would say I'm throwing up in my mouth proud of.
Well, I mean, for the majority of your videos that you posted, are you proud of them?
No.
Why?
Oh, wait.
So I have over 150 videos, half of which I turned around in a day and made, and they're not good. They are very easily identifiable.
We
by
also have
someone
4 different channels, so let's
I'm just referring to SANDS.
So
I don't know how many videos I've done collectively amongst the more than 4 channels.
Okay.
We should get Gutter Chicken on the show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Revamp coming soon.
Okay.
There are so many videos I can point out that this was an idea or me trying to emulate or copy someone else, and I don't like them. They're like I don't, for like 4 or 5 months I uploaded them every day except on weekends, and they were just. I sat down, waited way too late. It was dark by the time I started recording, and then editing it after quickly. And it was like recording for 15 minutes or half an hour at the most, cutting it down to 3 or 4 minutes of maybe this isn't terrible, and then shipping it out the following morning. And it's, if I was lucky, and I wasn't happy.
Do you want
with
to do videos because it's relevant?
Sometimes, if they're interesting or I feel like they're satisfying to cover, like whatever the topic is.
So if a topic were to be relevant, is it your focus to take a spin on it differently? Or are you okay with posting exactly what everybody else said?
No. Yeah, no. Okay.
See, what I'm getting at is, like I said, I've heard you speak about like outside the YouTube pool of that we currently find ourselves in, where you try to look at things that are trending and you try to put that in, you try to influence Ryan, for one, to go in certain directions with his videos or what he should be doing, let alone taking your own advice. So like when you look at your own videos, do you listen to yourself like giving other people's advice based on what you said and what you learned?
Usually when I give people advice based on YouTube or a lot of things in general, the ideas weren't necessarily strongly formed in my mind beforehand. It's more so just information that I have or feelings and thoughts that I have that I'm conveying haphazardly in the form of mouth garbage that is spewing out.
So you don't use it is pretty much what I'm getting at.
Mouth garbage.
No, I do. If I verbalize it, it tends to stick. Like I'll remember it and I'll apply it, and depending on what it is with myself.
Let's say there's something that you want to talk about. Let's just use a gunship one as an example. And then it's trending. Boom, let's talk about it. But like you didn't take your own spin on it, like we would normally do with your other videos, and it blew up. And I'm not saying that you should go in that direction, but I'm just saying that maybe you should throw more stuff out to see what else sticks aside from the SANDS art that you post out. Because I feel like if you were to put other stuff out there and you still did those videos that we all love you for, like it would still be meaningful with those videos that you once in every blue moon post up, while also giving your opinion about just other things in the Lego community.
How often do well-informed or like well-articulated conversations come up where there's enough information to make a video that's whatever time, like 10 minutes or longer? How often does that come up where there's that kind of conversation available? Like the video about the...
More often than you've actually released.
Does it though?
Yeah.
Oliver.
There's enough people covering stuff out there that you don't touch. And there's a lot of it. So and you're very opinionated about a lot of it, and you don't say anything publicly about it. And then you come up with these great ideas to like make this video about that topic at a later time. But by the time it hits that later time, you're trying to reach back to kind of make it relevant again. Keep doing that. I like that. Everyone seems to enjoy that. We also miss out on a lot of things that you aren't sharing with the world, and we'll probably never hear about it.
Who wants to hear another person's opinion about a toy meant for children when it isn't anything revolutionary or different from mainstream?
That's the thing. I think that mentality is hurting you, is that acknowledging the fact that this isn't relevant as a whole.
Well, I want to do a video of talking about that Lego's making a Billy Madison short bus set and a tiger butthole. But how do you make a video about a tiger butthole that's more than 30 seconds of any tangible anything that's interesting for someone to watch for more than 30 seconds? Oliver.
So it's a 2-minute video.
I don't know how, but I look forward to finding out.
So would I just say, ooh, it's a tiger asshole?
I guarantee it, if you try not to put it, like, you don't have to drag every video to 20 minutes.
I have never really dragged a video out to a particular time length.
You haven't. You can talk about the tiger butthole for a minute and a half. And I'm sure you could like throw stuff out there to seem funny and be done with it in a day. Not even, like maybe a couple hours.
Like when you first saw it, you should have like sat in front of the camera and just like freaked out over it and just been like, what the hell? Like called Ryan, called me, like freaked out about it like on camera. I feel like that would have been an interesting.
That would have been funny. Like basically, I feel like because I know you more like than most people, and I want other people to see like what you think about stuff because it's so funny, and I feel like a lot of people are losing out on that because you share your opinion in places like this or in private conversation or in like in live streams. So like a lot of people don't tune into stuff like that. So the butthole thing would have been funny. You can technically still do that, and I'm sure it'll do pretty well.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people know about it.
And maybe look into why now, because they had a tiger.
Well, had ample opportunity, yeah.
Yeah, the tiger thing, come on now. Do better, Lego.
I feel like every time he's on here, like we freaking go into a counseling session.
He's never coming back. I can see
said that last time.
Unfortunately, you record in the same room every time, Claire. I can't leave. We're gonna go. It's raining.
It's
dude. It is freaking cold here.
Same.
Like it's like 35 degrees.
And for those that where it gets really actually cold, this is California cold. Okay, it's still cold out here.
My car had ice all over it.
Damn.
Yesterday
morning. Ooh.
I was just like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. Turn in the water, see if it comes on. Nothing happens. Window wipers, it's just sliding, getting stuck. God. Nothing's happening.
Frost covers the car. Panic ensues.
No, it was ice. I had to chip it off.
Dang.
With what, a spoon? What do you use?
Well, because it rained, it stormed here, and then it froze. Because, like, it got super cold after it rained. And it was,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was like,
I almost fell right on my ass walking my son to school. Because there's like a metal grate covering like the gutter or something. I was walking across it and just started slipping.
Yeah, man, Californians don't do well with this. We're not used to cold weather. The only time we go, if we want to see snow, we go to the snow in the mountains. We don't need to live in it.
And most of the time it's fake.
The bubbles at Disneyland.
Exactly.
We manufacture our snow.
I love our snow.
No.
Welcome to California, baby.
All right, so is there anything else we want to bombard with SANDS while we're still here?
Yeah, I feel like I didn't get to talk that much. It was mostly just do this.
I think we just want more. I think it's the same sentiment of last time. It's just more content. We want to see you do the things that you want to do. And we hear the things that you say that you want to do, which is like, having success on this platform and, being a tycoon of the Lego YouTube community.
A tycoon of the Lego YouTube community?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a pretty grand position you're throwing about so casually.
Well,
I mean, look at that sweater, though.
Okay.
Anyways, I look forward to the Titanic video. I look forward to your butthole video. On that note,
that's gonna be clipped.
Thank God we got rejected from LAN.
Right. Roll that music. Peace.
Oh, it's over?
Now it is.
Okay.
It's over now.
I'm working. I'm literally gonna make this as the technique. I need to.
Oh, okay.
I have pearl gold in that. Did you get into mine?